Hello everyone, we are at another beginning of the week and it's a Monday, and isn't it such a hot day? So was the weekend, but it has been just continuous, hasn't it? And I've actually had to close windows and doors, so I'm not getting any ventilation during this time, but I'm dedicated to making these videos, and obviously the reason is that there's quite a lot of distractions, so that's why everything's closed, and I want to do it so that I can feel at peace, kind of. The quietness is good, but I'm slightly suffocating, so just bear with me. And with me I've got, this is really random, but I've got a watermelon. Oh, that juice might have come out, and there's watermelon bits in it. I was gonna cut it up and I thought I'm gonna lose all that juice, so why don't I just keep it in this? And that's kind of a handy bowl, right? Nature's provided me with this bowl, so why not use it? So I'm gonna be munching on this whilst chatting, because I'm gonna need the coolness. It's just come out the fridge as well, so it's gonna keep me nice and cool and hydrated. So good. Kind of want to ask the question, how do you eat yours? Does anyone out there eat it like this? Am I the only one? Surely not. This makes a lot of sense now that I'm doing it. A bit of juice. So, yeah, here we are. Another week. And it's a very hot week. And what's been going on? So, for the past couple of episodes of this, I think I've been going through a bit of a low period, and last week was probably the first week where I was starting to shift out of that low kind of feeling. But it's been a gradual process, because I still find myself in moments, or like half a day here or there, where I just don't feel up to doing a whole lot. But overall, I feel like things have shifted. My focus has shifted. Kind of had an idea come to me last week around the business. So I think because of that, it's kind of had a domino effect on other things. Energy, it's an interesting thing, isn't it? The energy that you bring and how it can impact the rest of your day. I often start my day with a yoga practice, and a couple of the sessions that I do the same ones over the week. And this beautiful lady on, is it Gaia or Gaia? Gaia. That's where I'm getting my online fix for yoga these days. Although my local studio, I'm going to give them a shout out because I think that they're amazing. Yoga West in Acton, amazing. Just went back there actually last week for the first time since the whole lockdown situation, and yeah, felt good to be back in the studio. But I went back with a different body, because over the lockdown period I had been doing regular yoga practice, and I've done yoga. I've done it on and off since maybe my late teens, and that's a good, I'm 34 now, so that's a good old time to be practicing yoga. But it's interesting how you spend that, years on and off doing something, but it's only when you start applying yourself consistently that you notice changes, like quite a few changes in your body. when it comes to yoga at least. So yeah, it was good to get back, but also to get back with a different body. For the first time, I was moving in a way that I've never moved before. So that felt good. But hang on, I'm digressing. I wanted to talk about energy. So in my online practice, this lady called Nicole on Gaia, she refers to how we have the choice to choose. That's two choices and choosers. We have it within us to choose what energy we want to bring to our day. And she says things like that. I'm paraphrasing her, but like it's along the lines of choosing the energy that you bring and noticing that energy that's in your body, and that we have at any given time an option to change the energy that we're feeling. I think I really need to hear this, so that's why I'm talking about it. We have this option, and sometimes you forget that, I think, in either the busyness of the day, or if you're feeling quite withdrawn and inward like I have been for the past few weeks, you kind of forget when you're in those states that you always have a choice. And I like that I get that reminder on a regular basis, because I think we all need it now and again. So yeah, the energy has been shifting, and I've maintained, even in those 2 weeks where I was feeling of low energy, I actually maintained my yoga practice during that time. So yeah, I'm kind of proud of that. I'm kind of proud of the fact that I'm still managing to do things, even when I feel like I'm not. So that's something that's really helped me through this lockdown period, but also in other times of my life. My yoga has been a bit of a go-to, but even when I'm doing it, I felt, I'm still not here, and I want to be here. The whole kind of competing with yourself. I think I'm more that way than I am with others. Like competitiveness with others doesn't necessarily drive me as much as my own inward competition does. But I've noticed over the years that inward competition hasn't really helped me in the longer term. That's something that I've become more aware of. Because, it's the self-critic. It's like, you haven't mastered this move and you've been doing this for how many years now, Jaspreet? So it is a constant learning curve. And yoga is always a good kind of, what you learn on your mat is also what you notice about yourself in other situations. So from that perspective, it's been a good kind of eye-opener. So last week I noticed a shift in my energy, and I was starting to think about the business side of things, as I was saying earlier. And I'm kind of getting to a point where I've got this website which I've been beavering away at my pace, and I think I'm getting to the point where I'm ready to share it with the world. And I guess the idea is to do a little launch for this moment in my life, because what I've come to the conclusion about is that I don't do enough of this. I don't celebrate those. I think I'm going to get a bit emotional about this actually, because I can feel it. Don't celebrate the moments where things have gone really well enough. Don't allow myself that space to just enjoy that feeling in my body, in my mind, and not just, me enjoying this moment, but actually standing in it and going, I'm here. I was somewhere else a few years ago, and that place wasn't particularly a happy place for me. And actually, where I am now is pretty decent in comparison, if not way, 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 way better than where I was a couple of years back. So why do we not take that time in our lives to really appreciate what we've, how far we've come, what it's taken to get to this point, how much we've had to, like, one of the guys that I'm working with at the moment, one of my clients, actually said in one of our sessions recently, like, I don't thank myself enough for putting up with myself. And I thought, beautiful, can really relate to that, not appreciating the fact that, yes, all this great stuff has happened, but also, like, for instance, the last couple of weeks for me have been a little bit down, and those moments are to be celebrated as well. They're not to be shoved under the carpet and not referred to. And I guess this is part of the process for me, the healing process of, I'm doing this because I think it's important, as in when I say this, I'm talking about YouTube vlogging and sharing it amongst my platforms. It's important to be talking about your life from a 360 aspect, and it's not just talking about it, but I'm doing this not just for whoever's out there watching this, but for myself. Like, it's that embracing that your life is 360. There's going to be good moments in there, and there's going to be moments that you really wish you didn't go through, but you do. And it's about embracing all of that and owning it. Owning all those trials and tribulations that you go through, but also the highs, and standing in that, like I was saying, like, sit in that moment of, this is how far I've come, and I'm really proud. I'm really proud of myself for taking that step in life, which felt really daunting and scary and confusing and all these other emotions, but I still managed to overcome, and still do on a daily basis, like, all those doubts and fears. It's obviously a daily, it's a daily process. You are doing this on a daily basis, but yet you keep taking that step. And why not celebrate that? I don't know whether a year down the line I'm still going to be doing what I'm doing now, but I think for me, the realization hit me last week of, I want to own the space that I'm in now, because it's a much better place than where I was a few years back. I'm much kinder to myself, more loving to myself, take time for myself. Because there was definitely times in my life back then when I didn't used to give myself this space. I used to berate myself for feeling the way I used to, feeling unhappy, but also unhappy about feeling unhappy. Why don't I feel better? things were good. What am I complaining about? And now that I've, left that behind, I'm dealing with those emotions now, and one by one, I'm becoming, as I've said it before, and I think I've read it in a book as well. It's called New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. One of those books that kind of shifted my thinking very early on in this process of self-discovery that I'm in. And he talks about making friends with all parts of you, and that's how I feel I am right now. I'm coming to terms with that there's this dark side that I have, like we all do, and it's okay for that side to be there and not to feel ashamed of feeling the way that you do. It's not, things don't need to be great or good all the time. They can be crappy, they can be low, and that's all part of the journey, as I talked about last week. And yeah, this kind of realization of I've come through all of that, but yet I haven't really taken a moment to celebrate it. So last week I was like, right, things are kind of shifting for me. My website's almost there. Why not use that as an opportunity to celebrate with loved ones of this achievement? I'm still kind of thinking about how this could all work, because I want it to feel like a party, and we're all kind of like my friends and my family, people that have kind of helped me along this process. We're all in different places, so how can I make this happen? But I'm not going to give it too much thought. I'm just going to kind of go with it, keep exploring what I would like that to be, and maybe also incorporate some kind of, part of the launch being, spreading the word about what I am doing amongst everybody, all my networks, and doing something with that as well. So if you're following me, watch this space and let's see what I end up doing. But I do feel like the more I talk about it as well during this, and the thoughts that I had last week, the more I'm starting to feel like this is a really good time to take this pause almost and just deep breath and appreciate how much I've been through, how much I've started trusting myself, and the whole loving and accepting of where I am, how much I've really embraced that. And just take that moment and stand or sit or whatever in it and just kind of bathe in it, really, enjoy that, because that is also part of this whole journey of not just learning more about yourself, but also if you're in the same space as me and you're looking to establish yourself in something new, this is all part of it. It's so important to actually take that step and go, okay, I'm here, and I'm really proud of myself. And I want to share that with people I love and people that have helped me along my way. So, yeah, so that feels like a good next phase for me in terms of my personal journey and my business journey. So let's see how that all comes about. I think if I end up talking anymore, I'm probably going to overheat, and I'm thinking about munching more on that watermelon. So I think I'll leave it here for today, and say thank you again to watching and hearing what I have to say. And if any of this is resonating, drop me a message, let me know, do a like or even a dislike. If you're not liking it, that's cool, It'd be lovely to hear more from people that are engaging with this and being part of my journey as well. Okay, well, have a good week. It's going to be really warm. The other thing I want to just share, because it's something that really matters to me and it's coming up for me this week, is that it's my 3rd year wedding anniversary, and I can't believe how quickly 3 years can fly, and I can imagine, the next 10, if I get the privilege of seeing those, is going to be just as quick. But yeah, like, that's coming up for me, so I'm kind of taking some time to, as much as I want to do this whole business side of things and think about the launch, I'm also taking a bit of time for me this week. So finally arranged a haircut, which hopefully is happening tomorrow, and I feel like getting some new clothes. My husband's organised a few things for us to do, so yeah, let's see how that shopping spree goes. But yeah, I'm gonna head out to the shops and see what I can find for myself. But yeah, like, part of the whole loving and caring for yourself is doing things like this, and it doesn't just have to be around anniversaries, but I am for them. I'm someone who really does want things like this to remain in place and not be like, oh, you could be doing this every day, because I think the issue is we don't always, and anniversaries are a good reminder of how we need to be doing these things for ourselves once in a while. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some self-care and self-love stuff this week as well, and celebrating my amazing 3 years with my husband, who's been, if I say too much I'll probably get emotional, but he's been an absolute rock and an amazing support system during this time for me. So if he does watch this and you're watching, I love you. Thank you. You mean a lot to me. You mean the world. But yeah, looking forward to celebrating that and marking that 3 years together. We haven't fallen out majorly. We're still living it up in our little flat in London. And I'm looking forward to many more years together. Yeah, let's see where that journey takes us. But yeah, all right. Enjoy the weeks, people. Hope you don't melt in this, and maybe try out my watermelon in the watermelon trick and see how you get on with that, and let me know. All right, take care. Bye.